Good morning, Year 4, and welcome to your English lesson of the 8th of February 2021. So today we're going to be exploring balanced arguments further, and you are going to be collecting points for and against keeping animals in zoos, ready for your writing later in the week. So for your starter, this is your spellings for this week. You're going to have two sets of spellings, Monday and Wednesday, and then tested on a mixture of 10 of these on Friday. So here are your first lot of spellings here. So we've got expression, discussion, confession, permission, admission, transmission, possession, profession, depression, and impression. So we've got the shun sound spelt with SSION at the end. So for today, all I want you to do is practice the look, cover, write, check technique for spelling your words. Try and segment the words to help you, and I've given you an example there to help you spell expression, and this will help you to break down the word when you spell it. So if you could just practice those for today. If you want to, you can draw little pictures next to the word. If you want to look up the meaning of the word and draw little pictures to try and help you remember what that word is. Excuse me. So today you will read an article, we've just got one article today about zoos, and gather points for and against animals being kept in captivity. So what does that mean? Okay, so captivity is when animals are taken from their natural habitat and put into enclosures. So keeping animals in zoos is an example of that. So I want you to look at these two pictures here, both very different based on the person on the other side of the bars. So how do these pictures make you feel? I've explained what captivity means, but is there different examples of captivity? And are there two sides of the story? Okay, have a think about what your first impression was and what your first opinion was. Is there a different side to that story? So again, I want to build on this point of what is the story. Okay, so when you first look at this picture here, how do you feel? Okay, my first impression is, what a poor tiger, how can he be kept behind bars like that? That is so unnatural. Okay, some of you might have thought of the same thing. Okay, but actually, okay, this zookeeper, and this was a true story a long time ago, okay, and this is a really bad accident, like this hardly ever happened, so I don't want you to worry. So the zookeeper basically left the door open, so did a really poor job, okay, and she was actually killed by the tiger who escaped. So does this change your opinion? Is it actually fair for the tiger to be kept in the zoo? Should humans be in charge of looking after these animals? Obviously, it's very different to keeping animals as pets. These are wild animals that are not used to being around humans. So was it the tiger's fault? Okay, was it the zookeeper's fault? And does this change your perspective? Does this make you now blame the animal and see it from a different point of view? And then on the other hand, what's the story here? Now, when I first looked at this picture, I felt sorry for the bear, okay, and I thought that, oh goodness me, he's behind bars, he's got no other bears with him. But in fact, when I read a little bit further, the man actually saved this animal from the wild after humans were destroying its natural habitat. There is a lot of humans that destroy natural habitats in the wild for resources, and also there are what we call poachers, where animals are hunted. For example, elephants are hunted for their tusks, the ivory that makes their tusks, and many species are becoming endangered because of this. So that's just another side of the story that you might not have thought of. I think we automatically think, it's bad for the animal to be kept behind bars, but sometimes it's actually a good thing. So there's always been this ongoing discussion about whether zoos are good or a bad thing. And even people in your home or in school might have very different opinions to you. So what is your first thought when you think of this topic? What do you think about zoos? I don't want this lesson to change your opinion, but it might just give you an insight into a different opinion about this topic, which is really, really interesting. So what you're going to do today, you're going to be reading an article about keeping animals in zoos and looking at the points for and against the argument. because tomorrow you're going to be boxing this up ready to write your own argument. So it's very similar to the pets argument, where it was about keeping pets away from their natural habitat. And we saw there that there was lots of points for and against that argument. So this is very similar. So you'll be able to magpie the same sorts of language and ideas. So your task is on Teams today. There is a Word document, and instead of the website links, I've actually copied and pasted the article into the Word document. So you can just read that article. And then there's another Word document where there's a table for you to record your points for and against. Now you need at least 3 points for and 3 points against for your writing, because you are going to be using the phrases such as in addition and furthermore to introduce more than 1 point in the same paragraph. So try and gather as much information as you can. And if you can think of any of your own ideas as well, please pop that on there as well. It might be really interesting to make a phone call or talk to other people about what they think, because the history of zoos has changed over time. In the past, a lot of these animals were given to circuses, which people have lots of different opinions on. Okay, not so much anymore. There are now special charities that look after the animals in zoos. I don't want to give you all of the answers. If you've got a relative that you want to speak to about this and get some other ideas, that would be really, really interesting. So hopefully that makes sense, and hopefully you will find your task on Teams, and we will speak again when we complete the Box It Up plan tomorrow.